Everyone wants to succeed. Everyone wants to win. But very few are prepared to do what success actually demands. They show up once, then disappear. They post once, then go silent. They train for a week, then drop off. But success doesn't reward those who start with fire. It rewards those who stay consistent. It doesn't care who screams the loudest on day one. It rewards the one still grinding when it gets dull, still pushing when nobody notices, still locked in when motivation dies. You don't need talent. You don't need perfect timing. What you need is to keep showing up every single day, every single hour, when it's tough, when it's uncomfortable, when no one is watching. That's what separates the greats. Not luck, not genius, but discipline, grit, relentless consistency. While others chase shortcuts, you're stacking small wins. While they burn out, you're still fighting. In the end, it isn't the most gifted who win, it's the ones who refuse to quit, the ones who keep showing up no matter what. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants the perfect body, the money, the spotlight, the results. But hardly anyone wants to do the boring, unseen work it takes, day after day after day. Because here's the truth. Consistency isn't sexy. It doesn't look cool. It doesn't feel epic. It's not something you post about. Waking up at 4:30 a.m., lacing your shoes and heading out into the cold alone. You think that's fun? Choosing grilled chicken over greasy food? Reading instead of scrolling? Telling yourself the hard truth instead of buying a comfortable lie? It's not glamorous, but it works. That's the real line between those who say they want it and those who actually go out and get it. It's not about one great day. It's not about one burst of motivation. It's about what you do when the motivation vanishes. When nobody texts, "Let's go." When the gym is empty. When your muscles scream and your mind whispers, "You've done enough." You say you want to be elite? You want to live a life you don't need a vacation from? You want to be the kind of person others can't ignore? Then you better learn to embrace the things most avoid. Again, and again, and again. Because consistency isn't a sprint. It's a code, a silent creed you live by. One that says, I don't care how I feel. I don't care who's watching. I don't care how long this takes. I'm not quitting. People will call you obsessed. They'll say you're extreme. They'll laugh when you leave the party early. Joke when you bring your own meal. Roll their eyes when you skip the easy path. Let them. While they laugh, you're building. While they rest, you rise. While they wait for the perfect time, you're making every moment count. You owe no one an explanation, but you owe your future self everything. And if you think consistency is boring, good. It's meant to be. It's designed to break the weak and test your soul. You know what's more powerful than motivation? Discipline. That steel-edged, no-noise focus that doesn't beg for applause, that doesn't wait for January 1st or Monday morning. It wakes up, looks in the mirror, and says, let's do it again. You want long-term results? Build habits that last. Create a system that doesn't collapse when motivation fades. Construct a work ethic that doesn't care about your mood. Beasts aren't made when it's easy. They're forged in the struggle, in the rain, in the mud, in the silence nobody claps for. While others scroll, you study. While they nap, you sharpen. While they delay, you take action. Because here's the truth. Most people are addicted to new hacks, new plans, new quick fixes. But success is addicted to repetition. It respects the man who shows up again and again and again, even when it feels like nothing's changing. It is. With every rep, you build strength. With every disciplined choice, you grow self-respect. With every early morning, you widen the gap between you and the average. It's not about the weight you lift. It's about the burden you carry, the mental load, the responsibility, the unstoppable chase of your mission. You want to lead? You want to dominate? You want to own your name? Then consistency isn't something you do. It's who you are. You don't try to be disciplined. You become it. You don't wish for success. You plan for it. Then back it up with savage execution. You don't wait to feel motivated. You move first, because action generates momentum. And when the results come, when the respect rolls in, when people start noticing what you've built in the shadows, you won't be surprised. You'll remember every early alarm, every lonely representative, every silent sacrifice, and you'll stand tall. Not because the world applauds you, but because you didn't fold. You stayed true. You kept the promise. That's what separates men from boys. That's what builds warriors. That's what creates lasting, unshakable greatness. So the next time you want to skip the work, the next time you wait for motivation, the next time your mind says, just this once, remember who you are. Remember what you said you wanted. You weren't made to be ordinary. You weren't built to float. You're here to conquer, 1 hour at a time, 1 rep at a time, One quiet, relentless, focused day at a time. Because even if it doesn't look like much now, one day your discipline will look like everything they ever wanted, and only you will have it. The world watches those who don't quit. Show up once? Nobody cares. Why should they? Everyone shows up once. Everyone starts. Everyone makes noise at the beginning. But most disappear the second things get hard. That's the pattern. Loud entry, quiet exit, but not you. You're different. You weren't made for sparks. You're building an inferno. Show up for a week, they might notice. They might think, okay, he's serious for now. But deep down they're waiting for the excuses, waiting for the fade, waiting for you to vanish like all the rest. Then something happens. You don't leave. You keep coming. Not for days, not for weeks, but for months, for years. That's when the world takes notice. Because consistency is terrifying. It exposes the weak. It confronts the lazy. It shakes the comfortable. Consistency forces people to confront what they've avoided their entire life. The truth. Discipline. Because when you're consistent, you're not just building a routine. You're building your name, your reputation, your legacy. Not the fake kind that lives online, the real kind. The kind carved in iron and effort. Day by day, rep by rep, early morning, late night. No cameras, no applause, just work. While they chase hype, you build momentum. While they search for hacks, you plant roots. While they whine about the time, you lay bricks. And those bricks, they become walls. They become a fortress. They become an empire. And one day you walk into the room and everything shifts. People feel your presence. You don't need to talk. Your results do it for you. Because you stayed in the fire. Because you fought yourself and won. Because you bled in silence and now you shine in public. You're no longer a contender. You're a threat. Your work speaks so loud, their excuses can't breathe. You stopped chasing success. You pulled it to you. And when they ask how, when they ask your secret, you look them dead in the eye and say, there is no secret. I just never left. No one saw the early mornings, the late nights, the breakdowns, the skip parties, the sacrifices, but you did. And that's why you won. Because you didn't come to try, you came to take over. They don't follow the loudest, they follow the one who never flinched, so keep going. When you're tired, when it's boring, when it's lonely, when nothing seems to be changing. Because every time you show up, you prove something powerful, not to the world, to yourself. You are not soft, you are not average, you are not like them. You're the one who kept showing up when it wasn't convenient, when it wasn't popular, when the hype was gone, when the spotlight moved on. You kept going. And now the world is watching because they can't ignore the man who won't quit. You didn't chase attention, you earned respect. The hard way, the honest way, the only way that lasts. So stay locked in, stay focused, keep swinging. Because one day you'll look around and the people who doubted you, they'll be silent. Because you earned something they'll never have, real respect. And you earned it the only way possible, through consistency, through grit, through showing up every damn day. You want the truth? Most people weren't beaten, they just quit. They had it in them. But when it got heavy, they backed off. Not because they weren't capable, but because they weren't committed. But here's your code. You never lose if you never leave. Think about that. The ones who win, they didn't chase perfect conditions. They just refused to vanish. Rain or shine, fired up or dead tired, no one watching, no praise, just work, sharpening the blade, in silence. Every day you show up, you're collecting power, building momentum, moving forward, and no one can stop a man who keeps showing up. Lions didn't get to the top by luck. They got there because they never left the mountain. They clawed, they bled, they suffered, and they stayed. When the smoke cleared, they were still standing. That's the game. Not the fastest, not the strongest, not the loudest. The one who stays. That's the one who commands respect. So understand this. You don't rise by showing up once. You rise by showing up forever. Every day, every representative, every sacrifice, even when there's no progress, even when it feels pointless, because that's where greatness hides. Yeah, it's going to hurt. Yeah, you're going to want to quit. But those moments, they matter the most. That's where you choose your future. Want to be average? Leave. Want to be forgotten? Quit. But if you want to be dangerous, if you want to be legendary, if you want to be the last one standing, then stay. Stay when it's boring. Stay when it's painful. Stay when no one claps. Because every day you stay, you grow. Every day you stay, the gap widens. This isn't about hype. This is about identity. Who are you when it's silent? Who are you when it gets slow? Who are you when the fire fades? Because that man, the one who stays, he becomes unstoppable. So don't give up. Don't walk away. Don't break the chain. Keep showing up. Keep building. Even if it's unseen. Even if it's quiet. Because one day the world will see. They'll see your body, your mastery, your life, and they'll call you lucky. But you'll know the truth. You just never left. And because you stayed, you made it impossible to lose.